Well, you're back with more TTBurger game reviews, I see. You want some more video games, see me review them and stuff. Well, you've come to the right place, and I am your host, Tony, and we're continuing my Clock Tower series review for Halloween coming up this month of October. This is episode 150, part 3 of 4. We got a lot to talk about here for part 3 here, but those of you are probably wondering, what did I talk about in part 2? Because I'm sure some of you didn't see it, but I got you covered right here with a TTBurger recap to show you all what you missed as I took a look at Clock Tower 2, The Struggle Within, also known as Clock Tower Ghost Head for the PlayStation. Gave it a 1 out of 10 for many problems I had with the game, mainly the Americanization where they changed everything around to make it all Americanized, and it just did not work at all in the slightest. And the fact that the story had so many plot holes, and the game gave you no hints what to do whatsoever, and the characters were just so bland and stuff. You just couldn't care for whatever happened to them, and just it's generic and cliche as well, and just that it's not even worthy of the name Clock Tower 2, because there's nothing to do with Clock Tower at all. There's no Scissorman or anything like that. There's no Clock Tower from what I heard too. So don't even bother with that game. Just fucking avoid it is what I'm trying to say. But now we're going to zoom ahead to the PlayStation 2 era of Clock Tower, and after Clock Tower 2: The Struggle Within, the Clock Tower series was kind of questionable for me. I didn't know what was going to happen with Clock Tower. I mean, with the PlayStation 2, anything could have happened, and well, we got it right. We got the game right here. This is Clock Tower 3, made by, this time, Capcom, the kings of survival horror franchise, who made Resident Evil Dawn and stuff. And this game was released in the year 2003. Now, Clock Tower 3, an interesting game here to talk about here. My opinion on Clock Tower 3 is, it's the best Clock Tower of the bunch. I mean, like, sure, we still have Haunted Ground to talk about and stuff, but like, for these 3 games like that, Clock Tower 3 is the best. I mean, this time it's not a point and click game. This time it's in full 3D where you can move freely and stuff, kind of like how it was with Resident Evil and Dawn Crisis and stuff. And here, it actually really feels like a true successor to Clock Tower 1997, and it definitely showed that they had it's like with Clock Tower 2: Struggle Within, they lost the ball game, and the next game they hit a home run, and we got a great game here. Sure, there's no Jennifer Simpson or Nolan or Harris or Helen Maxwell and stuff like that, but they do things that definitely were some of the key parts of Clock Tower First Fear and Clock Tower 1997 or Clock Tower 2 if we call it, and we got Clock Tower 3. But let's get started here. The story takes place in England this time, it takes place in England, where you play as 14-year-old Alyssa Hamilton, who is a normal teenager in boarding school, where it's just a few days or so away to her 15th birthday. While she is there reading a letter from her mom Nancy, somebody tells Alyssa that her mom is on the phone and is calling her, and she gets no answer. So she arrives back at her house, only to find that her mom is not there, and there's this mysterious old man who's telling her that her mom is not there and will never be coming back, and she's all alone in this world. And while Alyssa is searching the house, she finds this mysterious icon here on this door, and it takes her to certain places where she's being chased by these stalkers, and she finds more information about what happened. Finds another note from her mom saying that you probably are home and there's nothing to do with saving and stuff, and that's basically what it is. You're trying to find out about the mystery of a part of Alyssa's life that she didn't know about, and so that's basically what it is there. there's more to the story, but I'm not going to spoil it there. And the story, I think, works really well. I mean, like, and stuff. I mean, like, sure, it doesn't have anything to do with like like the murder or the orphanage and stuff like that in Norway, like I was with Jennifer Simpson. But here it works in its own way. Plus, there's a clock tower in this game, and we have 2 scissor men in this game as well. So this is what I was talking about here. We got scissormen. We got a clock tower. Not like that crappy clock tower 2 struggle thing that had nothing to do with clock tower or anything like that. Here, sure, it's different from like how it was with the other games and stuff, where it's like it didn't take place in Norway and stuff, and there's no Jennifer Simpson or Helen Maxwell or Professor Samuel Barton or Nolan or any of them. But here, it works in its own way because it has the feel of the setting and where you're at and stuff and stuff too. And you got those stalkers too that try and stalk you and stuff too. So that's what it is there. This is what makes a clock tower game, and it feels like a clock tower game. And within full 3D and stuff like that too, where it's like a survival horror game, it's like point and click, it improved a lot, definitely, is what I'm trying to say there. And it's like, it's not what else to say to me. I mean, sure, like, it's like when I first played the game, I did not know what to do, because like I will admit, in this game, this is one of those games where there's no enemies except for the stalkers chasing you around and stuff, and they're trying to solve puzzles. But this shows that this works perfectly as well, is what I'm trying to say there. And the story is great, much better than Clock Tower 2: Struggle Within, because this game here at least gives you ideas of what's going on, is what I'm trying to say. But let's get back on track here. For the game's presentation, like for the graphics and everything, they do look good. It's not the best looking PlayStation 2 game out there, but it still looks really good. Like you got the character models, like Alyssa, the Alyssa character model, and her friend Dennis and stuff. They animate well. Like the human characters animate well, even though the lip syncing is not that great, because like there was a Japanese audio option too, but from what I've seen footage of the Japanese version too, the lip syncing, it's hard to say if it does sync up with the Japanese and stuff, because like it's hard to tell, because the lip syncing doesn't seem like it's not that good for both of them. But still, like we do, but I'll get to that in the sound there. But like the cutscenes do look nice, especially the CG ones. They got some really good detail in them. Like you can actually see like foliage moving, like grass and stuff like moving in these cutscenes too, and it looks great. And of course you got like the backgrounds too and stuff and such, and they got a smooth frame rate. My only complaint here is that for some of these areas you explore, the lighting is really dark, and it's a pain in the neck if you get lost, because like especially when you have one of those stalkers on your tail trying to chase you and you're trying to find somewhere to hide, it is a pain in the neck. But the lighting could be worse. I've seen worse games that have worse lighting than this. So yeah, I'm just saying there, it's not that bad of lighting, but still it could have been better. But yeah, like graphics are good. Now let's get into the sound here. The sound, I do like the sound for the most part. The voice acting is good. Like it's got that UK feel to it, where like all the characters talk in those UK accents and stuff. Even though there was a Japanese option, I don't know much of the Japanese voice acting stuff. That so like I only saw one gameplay video on YouTube, and I think the voice acting in for both audio tracks are good. It's just I wish the lip syncing was a little bit better for the English audio track, as I'm trying to say there. And the music is good. Like when you find a stalker, it starts kicking up, and it's just gonna be one kick-ass time trying to run with the music there and stuff. And the normal music puts that survival horror, being chased by someone feel to it. You're the schoolgirl lost at that works too. And of course, like you got like other sound effects, like the holy water and stuff when you throw it and such. I'll get to that in a little bit. Sound realistic as well, and the doors sound good too, and your feet sound good too when you walk and run. So that's good too, definitely. But now let's get into the meat of Clock Tower 3's review here, the gameplay. And the gameplay is definitely an improvement here and stuff, and Gone is like the 2.5D point click thing where you gotta like move the cursor and stuff, which I didn't have a problem with and stuff, but just the controls felt a little stiff. Here, there's no point and click. It's a free roam survival horror game where you're trying to find places to hide, find items to progress further in the game, and like there are no enemies in this game aside from the stalkers. So like it's an interesting idea where like it works in its own way because like. You don't need a good game to have like, you don't need a bunch of bad guys in the game to make it good. This does it its own way. And of course the fact that when you go into like the 90% of the rooms, there's no load times whatsoever when you open the door and stuff. I mean, sure, I like the door scenes of Resident Evil and stuff, because that's one of my favorite things about the Resident Evil franchise were those door scenes. And I'm sure, and I know my friends Casual Gamer, especially 1993 and Dr. Morvis, will know how much I'm a big fan of those door scenes in Resident Evil and stuff, because if it weren't because like that was because like I just like those there, but here that they're not in here, but still this is a different game. It maybe made by Capcom, but it doesn't need to be that way and stuff, and like it's not that many load times too, except for like when you go to like some certain areas where the game will load a little bit, but it's not that bad. It's not that bad at all. It's what I'm trying to say there. Your only weapon against these stalkers is holy water that you find found. You can carry up to like three of them and such, and it stuns them, but you're not gonna kill them until like you face them in the boss fights and stuff, and that's what it is there. Like but you gotta be careful though, because there is a panic meter, and this was the thing since the original Clock Tower. When you panic, you start running away, fleeing, and you get scared. And this could kill you and stuff too. So like that's like one of the main ways you will die. You spend time like looking for keys and trying to solve puzzles to get from point A to A to point B, trying to hide from the stalkers. And like there are multiple ways you can hide. You can hide in like you can hide behind curtains. You can use a fireplace poker to stun them or so, or like break a wall or so like that to try and like get them out of your sight, and they'll leave you alone for a little bit, but they will be back. So just saying there. And yeah, like that's one of those things there where like you feel like a hopelessly lost young girl trying to find her mom, trying to find out what's going on, and just trying to stay alive is what it is there. But now I talked about a lot of the goods here and stuff. Let's talk about the bads. First off, the game is not very long. It's actually pretty short, and you'll probably blow through the game in about like 5 hours or so. And after that, you can play again if you want to unlock some more costumes or so. But beyond that though, yeah, it's a short game. And also another problem I have is that like the game doesn't really tell you exactly what you're supposed to do. You gotta like just think on your feet and just figure out what to do, which is fine, but still maybe a couple of hints here and there would have helped. And also the map. The map is not that helpful. It doesn't show you where you're at on the map. It just shows you like where the holy water fountains are, or where this and that is and stuff. And the map could have been better, is what I am trying to say there. And yeah, that's basically it. I mean, aside from those flaws, it's a good game. Clock Tower 3, the best game of the bunch there, of the 3 Clock Tower games. We still have Haunted Ground to talk about, so I can't tell you what's the best one out of all of them. But for Clock Tower wise, yeah, this is but out of the Clock Tower trilogy, this is the best one in my opinion. So aside from that though, there really isn't much else to say. I mean, like Clock Tower 3 is an amazing game where it's like it actually feels like a Clock Tower game this time around with no Alyssa Hamlin or that stupid zombie apocalypse or Bates or Ashley or that awful storyline or whatever from Clock Tower 2 Struggle Within. Here, it's a great game. It's nothing worth owning in your collection. I should admit though, this game is somewhat pricey, and it does range from over $60 to that. Sometimes you'll spend like more than that, but it's not as expensive as other games. I'm trying to say there. It's still worth owning in your collection, and it's definitely a way if you want some survival horror and to want some scare tactics there, definitely. Due to the complaints I have with this game, the score I'll be giving it is probably an 8.5 out of 10. Aside from that, I mean, it could have got a higher score for those problems, but out of the 3 games, this is the best one in my opinion, definitely. And if you want some more Clock Tower, where it actually has a clock tower and has some scissormen in it, this is the way to go, definitely. So Clock Tower 3, great game. And Capcom definitely did a great job there. And that's it for episode 150, part 3 of 4. Wait until the final part. We're gonna take a look at Haunting Ground, which now I probably be wondering why you reviewing this in the Clock Tower series. Well, simple. This game is somewhat considered to be Clock Tower 4 and has certain gameplay elements from Clock Tower 3 in it, so that's why I'm adding it into this collection here for this episode. How does this game fare from Clock Tower 3? Does it improve on everything and make it even better, or does it make everything worse? Find out next, which all I gotta say, if you like what you see here, subscribe, like the video, comment down below, join my Discord group, TTBurger Gamers 9, who's always looking for more people to join. It is a permanent minute link that won't go away after 24 hours, so I fixed it, so feel free to join. I'm looking forward to talking to more of my subscribers and fans, definitely, which all I gotta say. And you can check out the other videos too, because like there's more content, there's a lot there, and I take requests as well. So type requests down below if you want requests, which all I gotta say is Tony, peace and out, have a great day, and see you all in the final part of my Clock Tower series review of episode 150.